Hey guys, good morning and good evening as well. Thank you so much for joining. So yesterday we started logarithm. We did not complete yet. So but I explained the overall, theoretical way how it will work. So let's start from there where we stopped. So next one is features of the logarithm and licensing of the logarithm. So what are the features logarithm right now it is supporting? It is supporting for UBA, user entity behavior analytics. Only in the IBM curator side we can call it as UBA, user behavioral analytics, but it will cover entity analytics as well. But in generic, we will call it as the UBA. But remaining all other SIM tool vendors, we will call it as a UVBA. Combination of the UBA and also EBA. User behavior analytics and also entity behavior analytics part. Next one is threat hunting part. Even we have threat hunting option. Threat hunting option and also SOAR capability. So SOAR capability in the threat hunting, logarithm side, we can call it as logarithm SOAR is SOAR only. There is no other name. But example, if we're considering about IBM QRadar, we can call it as a IBM Resilient, and also Exabeam, we can call it as a Exabeam Instant Responder. But logarithm, we can call it logarithm SOAR only. There is no other name. And also we have to purchase the couple of other licenses like a premium support in case any parsers related issues will occur. So in that scenario, not only that one, any technical oriented issues or administration oriented issues or implementation oriented issues, we can purchase the premium support and we can raise a ticket, and the respective vendor, they'll come online and they'll help us. Next one is Global Threat Intelligence, GTI, is additional licensing option. So this additional licensing, so logarithm, they have their own intelligence or labs. Regularly, whatever all over the worldwide, new attacks are happening. These regular updates can be provided by GTI option. So that one we have to purchase additional licensing option. But storage point of view, they don't have any other separate device. So like whatever IBM Curator supporting as a node, or Exabeam is supporting as a node, but logarithm side as a log manager or log processor or data processor, data indexer. So finally, event manager, platform manager. These three combined together, we can call it as a overall summary of the how many days we can store the logs. So that is called as a retention policy. So these are the couple of licensing we have to purchase. And already we discussed about AI Advanced Analytics Engine. It's a default correlation rule or customized correlation rule. So let's go and discuss about a couple of correlation rule before going to the our implementation side. So already I provided couple of correlation rule under the SIM tool. I did not complete yet couple of other, videos. I will upload those logarithm videos as well, practical session side. So click on logarithm here. So logarithm use cases. Here I have to attach two more videos belongs to logarithm side, practical session oriented. So click on this one. So these are all the logarithm correlation rule side. So let's discuss about maybe one or two correlation rule, easy one. This one already explained in the last class. Let's go and see once again. Firewall brute force login attempt. Otherwise, we can go for Windows login attempt. Same thing we discussed under the IBM QRadar. Yeah, so this is the use case. Today also one of the interview question, by the way, from the company name is called as UST Global. One of the candidate is attended interview with UST Global. In that interview, even the L3 level of the guy, they expected, do you know how to create a correlation rule? It's a regular interview question. So not this one. One second, guys. Yeah, this is the one. So this one, as per the terminology oriented, this one already explained last night also. Terminology point of view, in the IBM QRadar side, we can call it as multiple authentication login failure attempts from the same source user. That is maybe internal or maybe external. In the similar way, multiple authentication login failure attempts from the same source IP. So that may be once again either from internal or external. So if you want to create that one, as I said, we can create the building blocks and we have to define the correlation rule using the Boolean algebra function. So there is no need to specify any log source or data source information once you are going to create a correlation rule under the IBM QRadar side. Just we can provide the category of the building blocks as a authentication failure category, and we have to use Boolean algebra function as a and or not. So example and. So authentication login failure attempts related to abnormal activity. Example 5 attempts or 3 attempts in 1 minute time period. So that is on the IBM QRadar side. How we can create same use case side under the logarithm side. Okay. So let's go and see here rule ID. It will not change this one. Once you are creating the our correlation rule under the backend logarithm side, we cannot create rule under the front end. We can create under the backend. So normally they will not give access to this one. So only for implementation side, maybe couple of times L3 team, they will give the access to backend server where we can configure the correlation rule. Okay. So rule ID, once you are creating the rule, automatically rule ID will be generated. In this scenario, logarithm rule ID, rule group, it's a customer name. I forgot to remove this one. So whatever, okay, so rule group, we are creating that rule group name, example customer name, common event, AIE. A is nothing but advanced text engine. Each and every alarm, whatever it is trigger in the logarithm side, it will generate the AIE along with that one. It will generate the what is the type of the attack. For every alarm, whatever we are doing the investigation, so it is AIE. Along with that one, we can see the respective alarm name also. So as I said, in the logarithm side, we can call it as alarm. In the exabeam side, we can call it as a incident or alert. In the IBM QRadar side, we can call it as offenses. So vendor to vendor, this terminal will change. So Windows brute force login attempt. Someone is trying to do the Windows brute force attack login attempt. Classification, authentication failure, and alarm on event, yes. So whenever this particular abnormal activity is doing by either internal employee or maybe external attacker, it has to generate the notification, yes. Risk rating is a medium or high. Even in case something is getting compromised, we can give the even customized also. As I said yesterday also, not only whatever based on the vendor specific rule is defined, we no need to go to the same vendor specific. Okay, so respect to rating. According to whatever business impact analysis and risk assessment we are doing in the organization side, we can go and we can give that rating also. Okay, so example, maybe I'm feeling like true positive on the Windows brute force login attempt. In that scenario, I can give instead of the 6, I can give the, okay, so 9 or 10. Instead of the medium or high, I can provide high or critical. Okay, that is also possible. Next one, a brief description. Single user attempts to log on and continuously failing. One of the user is trying to do the multiple authentication login failure attempt. In that scenario, login failures are coming. And rule blocks. Here threshold we have to define. From here, our main logic we have to define. Here everything is like common to each and every tool, each and every alarm, sorry, or every correlation rule or use case or attack. Yesterday someone is asking, I think Ravikant, whether use case or correlation rule, both are same? Yes, both are same. Correlation rule also we can call it as, or use case we can call it as, or maybe for each and every category of the attack, we can create this correlation rule. All are similar. Now, from here, our main logic will start. Rule blocks. Rule block 1, threshold observed. Data source. Data processor logs. Okay, this is the where the logs are trying to, we are integrating. Where we discuss data processor, anyone? What is the component name? Where we are configuring the correlation rule, which component under the logarithm side? Anyone? Where we are configuring the backend processing of the logs under the logarithm side?
Manager.
No, that is
Log
wrong.
manager.
So I will show this one. Data processor, data index, second component. Okay, whatever we discussed under the second component, there we can create our correlation rule. So second component, event manager platform is our main console to take care of all the investigations. It's like a SIEM console or user console or graphical user interface. Data process and data index is second component, processing of the logs. As we discussed yesterday, backend, okay, so our correlation rule engine, it's a part of the data processor data indexer, AIE. Processing, it's happen on the backend under the data processor and data indexer. That means whenever you are creating, you should understand about even backend process, how it will work and what are the component it looks like. That's what same thing we are going to discuss part of the our correlation rule. Go back to know that one. And final logarithm collector agent that may be using the syslog or cloud connector or API or cloud agent or WMA method. Now go back to same thing. Here data source, where the processing of the logs it's happen for the advanced analytics engine. It's a data processor or this is also called as data indexer. Okay, primary criteria. So for advanced analytics engine, correlation rule side, log source. What are the log sources logs for the our Windows login authentication failure attempt? Anyone? I'm repeating us the question once again. For the brute force category of the attack or multiple authentication login failure attempts from the same source IP or multiple
Domain
authentication
control.
login failures from the domain controller. That's
Domain.
correct. Yeah, today entire question. Same question I will ask in the different way. For malware category of the attack. For malware category of the attack. What is the data source or log source? What is the data source and log
Email.
source for malware category of the attack?
Email gate.
Only email gateway? That is third option.
Fire,
Priority 3 I will give to email gateway. What
Six
first
firewall
logs.
and second
logs.
one? First and second one data source for the malware category of the attack.
Six logs.
No, I'm not asking log integration methods here.
Oh,
Data source or log sources logs, how we can integrate to SIM tool. That is called log integration method. From where the logs, malware related logs are appearing, those logs we are integrating into SIM tool. Now for malware category of the attack, what is the data source or log source?
Firewall logs.
Okay, firewall logs. Under the firewall, what is the profile you will configure? You said firewall. That's okay. Priority 2 or option 2. So what is the profile you will configure under firewall? You are working by the way firewall, I know. What is firewall security profile you will configure?
URL filtering.
URL filtering, no. Antivirus profile. We'll configure one of the antivirus profile under the firewall side. So based on that antivirus profile, yes, you are right. Drive-by downloads option. In case we are doing by the end user, in that scenario, you are right. URL filtering option. Okay, what is main data source you are not saying at all? For malware category of the attack.
Phishing email malware detections.
I think you are not understanding my question. Maybe give me 1 second. 1 second, hold on a minute. So you should understand this backend process also. I will show it so that you will understand. Because all these are entire questions. You should be aware of the even backend process. This one can be known by basically our implementation team. Give me 1 second so that I'll clarify your doubt now itself. This concept already we discussed. Can you see my screen? Can you see my
Yes.
screen?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you can see here one of the end user system is got called malware attack. In that scenario, log source or data sources are where the logs can be stored to SIEM tool or where the logs can be integrated to SIEM tool, and finally alert will be triggered. First and foremost is antivirus. That is also next generation antivirus. That one we can call it EDR and XDR. You are not saying not even primary tool. Which tool is preventing and blocking or quarantining malware category of the attacks? You are saying third and fourth options. You are saying about next generation firewall. You are saying about email gateway. What about primary tool? EDR tool. You are saying about log integration. I did not ask this one. So what is the log source for the malware category of the attack? You have to say first and foremost antivirus and EDR and XDR. Second one is yes, in the next generation firewall, one of the policy will not policy, security profile will configure. That may be our antivirus profile or maybe URL filtering as Nagarjuna said. That's right. So third one is okay, anti-malware in case you are using in the organization side. Fourth one is email gateway. These logs will integrate using the different types of log integration method, and aggregation and parsing and normalization can be completed by log collector or event collector, and log process will complete filtering and also querying, indexing, and backend will create malware category of the attacks. Correlation rule or use case or logic or algorithm or condition. Now, whenever external attacker, they are trying to do the either through driver downloads or maybe through phishing email malware attachment, or maybe internal user is copying of the malware file via USB or pen drive or memory stick. In that scenario, based on the correlation rule we configured for the malware category, it will hit that logic or condition or algorithm, and finally front end of the SIEM tool alert will be triggered. So this is the way how the backend process will be. Is it clear now? Same thing I'm asking part of our so domain controller side, sorry, brute force attack side. Already Nagarjuna is given the answer. So either we can integrate directly end user logs to SIEM tool. So using win collect agent method, or else domain controller is data source. Okay. Now you can see primary criteria. Log source type is Microsoft Windows event logging security, because even though under the Microsoft event Windows log side, we have 4 different types of category of the logs. One is application logs. We can see under the event viewer, and also we can see about security related or audit related logs. Third one is setup related logs. Fourth one is system related logs. There are 4 different types of logs can be, or Windows machine can be generated under the event viewer. We can go and we can view what are the types of the logs. Now it is showing as Microsoft Windows event logging security, nothing but audit. Whoever is logging into the system, that may be internal employee part of the insider threat, or maybe external attacker through our public IP address range. Okay, so that is one of the log source. MS Windows event logging XML security. Same thing, this is also part of the security audit related logs. Last one is syslog Microsoft Windows event logging XML security. Through syslog server we can use. And these two using the collector agent. These two collector agent. What the fourth one we can give? What the fourth one we can give? Anyone? What the fourth one log source we can give? Nagarjuna, what the fourth one? Fourth one?
Setup, you said?
No. What is the fourth log source? All these are dedicated to Windows related event logging. What is the fourth log source we can give here? All these are directly on the endpoint side, either laptop or workstation or desktop. What is fourth one?
D-
Nagarjuna, what is fourth one? You
Email.
already given the answer. Domain controller.
Dom-
Yeah, syslog or collector agent. Collector agent method or syslog method, we can use server logs to SIEM tool. Domain controller logs related to security or audit. If you want to create any correlation rule, first and foremost, you should be aware of the what are the log source logs were able to integrate to SIEM tool. Otherwise, your logic will go wrong. Now, it's not completed yet. Okay, so now I will ask couple of event IDs. Please give the event ID numbers. For golden ticket attack, what is the event ID? For golden ticket attack, what is the event ID? Silver ticket attack, event ID number. Account added in the Windows Active Directory, what is the event ID? Account is deleted, what is the event ID in the Active Directory? Account is modified in the Active Directory, what is the event ID? Windows successful login attempts, what is the event ID?
4624
Okay, so what about failure login attempts?
4625.
Yes, you are right. But why you are not saying about remaining one? Because in the class only we discussed two. We did not discuss about other event ID numbers. Okay, so there are more than 80 event ID numbers are there dedicated to on the Windows side. Okay, similar to like ports and protocols. We discussed about 25 to 30. Same way, even on the Windows event IDs also, there are approximate 80 plus event IDs. So we are not sure which one they will ask at the time of the interview. Anyone they can expect, because regularly you are working on the instant investigation from the past 4 years or 6 years or 8 years you are keeping in the resume, they can expect. Okay. So in that scenario, basic one approximate 10. Those 10 are login success. Obvious login success nobody will expect. Login failure is very important. Account is added in the our Active Directory. Why? Because maybe attack is compromised through privilege escalation attack, or maybe through rootkit attack to the Active Directory, or golden ticket attack, or silver ticket attack. Finally, he deleted existing users and he created one of the new account. In that scenario, one of the event will be generated on the backend. That event ID you should be aware of. In the similar way, account is deleted from the Active Directory. Who will delete the account? Obviously, account is deleted by the maybe attacker. Account is modified. Object is modified under the Active Directory or updated. Account is lockout. What the event ID? Account disabled. What is the event ID? Approximate 10 event IDs you have to remember. We are not sure. They can expect any event ID, not only just whatever we discussed. Previously, they used to ask about only two, login success and login failure. But these event IDs are very important, and any event ID they'll expect. Okay, anyways, that information I will provide, and I will provide additional document by tomorrow afternoon. You can go through that document as well. So for each and every Active Directory wise, attacker wise, or endpoint wise, whenever they are trying to do the either normal activity or abnormal activity, what is the event ID number? Okay, why I'm saying this one? So these questions are regular one. Regularly we can expect any of the event ID in case you are explaining about authentication failure category of the attack, like a brute force or password spray, or maybe our dictionary attack, or pass the hash, or So rainbow table attack. Okay. So now these are the log sources now. These log source logs we are integrating to SIEM tool, and it's not completed yet. Include filter. We have to include the filter, not exclude. We are including the filter. Classification is authentication failure. And vendor message ID is 4625. What is 4625? Just now we discussed.
Fail.
Authentication login failure attempt. This is the logic basically. This one also not logic. This basically from where we are collecting the logs. These are all the processing of the logs. Main logic is this is the one. Include filter and exclude filter. This is the logic. Classification is authentication failure and vendor message ID is 4625. Whenever someone is trying to do the authentication login failure attempts from the either through public IP or maybe through private IP, those logs using the trial and error method or probability. So these log sources logs will be generated, and based on this logic, what are we defined? And is here Boolean algebra function. And based on this condition now, and exclude filter, use origin is regular expression percentage symbol as a dollar. You can exclude this user origin. User origin irrespective of the wherever he is located. Maybe attacker location we are not sure. From where he is trying to do it. Okay, so that is the reason we are excluding the user origin, irrespective of the all over the worldwide from any country, whatever ISP router IP address it is providing. Couple of times whenever you are checking the reputation of the IP address in the MX tool or IP wide or IP abuse database or virustotal.com or even IPMX force, there are so many tools are available to check the reputation of the IP address. Once you are giving the IP address, we can get to know about from which country the attacker is located and through which ISP router. So that particular request is okay. So originated. That information also we can get it. Okay. Example. Go virustotal.com or Cisco Talos, whatever. Intelligence Center. Search. Give here 1.1.1.1. And check the reputation. Maybe brute force attack is coming from in this one. In the alert notification side. Now we'll come to know what is the IP address belongs to, which country it is belongs to, what is the telecom service, internet service provider IP address, everything we can get the details. It is showing as a web reputation is favorable from the attacker point of view. Okay. And also you can go here, top IP address used to send emails to. So this email information, no reputation check is identified, not available. Okay. From this one, we are not able to get the full-fledged information. We'll go with some other IP address. So with one verification, we cannot say this one where it is coming from. You have to verify the multiple reputation checks. Let's see. So this also, it is not giving the, where is the ISP router information. Even who's the domain also not giving. This one also not giving. Then in that scenario, I will go with the some other websites. All these are, I mean, open source tools. Regularly, we can verify. I've given wrong host name. So I will go to search button here. Previously, whatever I given, same thing I will give now. With the one open source tool verification, we cannot predict whether the malicious content is available or not. Now, out of 94 vendors, okay. So they said one vendor is a malicious content. Based on virustotal.com, I cannot conclude it's compulsory, it's a malicious one. Now I have to go to IP abuse database, and Cisco Talos is not giving the information, and you can go with other open source websites, and finally you can conclude whether the malicious content or not. Then click on the details page. So autonomous system label, it's a cloud floor on it, and serial number of the, okay, so respective IP address, and subnet mask of the IP address. So netname appnet.in. Organization is Asia Pacific Network Information Center. So this from Asia Pacific. It is Asia side. Okay. So even couple of times we'll get the full-fledged information also. So where the country it is belongs to. So you have to validate all this information. Okay. So this is the way how we can verify the IP address verification. Let's go and think about second one. 2.2.2.2. So out of 94 vendors, 3 vendors concluded that it's a malicious content is available. Okay, now go to details tab. It's a European Union. And reason Internet Registry, RIPE. It's ISP router. ISP router from where this particular communication traceability I'm doing now. It's European Union and country SE. SE may be Switzerland or Serbia, I'm not sure. Okay, RIPE NCC. So this is the ISP router information of the respective country of, so SE under the European Union. So this is the way how we'll come to know about overall information about, so respective, okay, so IP address whenever the attack is trying to do it. Okay, origin here we are verifying. So once we know about the IP address, we'll get to know about where the attack is trying to do the hacking also. Geographical location or geolocation map also. Okay, why I'm saying this one now, why we are discussing the topic now. Exclude filter, irrespective of where the attack is trying to do, forget about that one. In the public IP address range, wherever he is doing all over the worldwide or across the universe, it's okay. You can ignore that location. So just you can exclude the origin of the IP address of the where the attack is trying to do it. But alert has to trigger. From where it is coming, we can go and we can do the verification. Now, log source. So this is the logic, guys. This is the main logic for on the logarithm side. Same concept we discussed under the IBM QRadar. We select building blocks. It will not give any notification. And we select a multiple authentication login failure attempts. Okay, I will open that one also simultaneously so that it is easy for you to compare. So this is on the IBM QRadar side. So BB category name, this is the logic side and the IBM QRadar. BB category, BB is nothing but building blocks, already we discussed, like a test case in the IBM QRadar side. And so category definition authentication failure, same thing we have seen even in the our IBM QRadar also, sorry. So same thing we have seen classification and authentication failure. And here also undo is a Boolean algebra. In the logarithm also undo is a Boolean algebra function. But here 5 events, 5 successful login failure attempts related to abnormal activity belongs to the authentication login failure attempts. Seen from the same source username within 2 minutes time period, time frame we define. So you can go back here, vendor message ID, Windows event ID. Here vendor, who is the vendor here? Microsoft is a vendor. Okay, so that event ID is 4625. It's not completed yet. We have to define threshold now. We did not define the threshold. Just we define. So go back to here. As I said, here threshold also defined. In 2 minutes time period, 5 events should be triggered related to abnormal activity of the Windows authentication login failure attempts. Okay, now whether in the logarithm side, whether we defined anywhere threshold or maximum number of the attempts, not decided yet, not defined yet. Let's go and see that one. Log sources from the users list. List is Windows integrated servers or Windows machines. I can keep here Windows machines also. Windows end user machines. I can group those machines like laptop or workstation or desktop. MacBook is a different one. Group by user and also host and host origin. We are grouping those part. Threshold fields. Count is 15 abnormal activities doing by end user. Abnormal events are the multiple authentication login failure attempts. Whenever 15 events are generating greater than 15, duration of 5 minutes, alert has to trigger. This is the condition now. But so what is the account lockout policy? Maximum companies, everyone will follow it. Account lockout policy. Whether they'll accept 15 attempts, maybe 15 attempts, maybe attack is trying to compromise our username and password using trial and error method. Can we change this or can we update this correlation rule? Can we modify?
Yes.
Okay, can you give the okay count is equals to
10.
okay 10 attempts in the duration time period?
Some 3 to 4 minutes.
Okay, 3 minutes. Okay, by default, whatever we by default, this one is already I mean, logarithm is providing all this by default. So same question, same answer explaining at the time of the interview, they will say like already this correlation rule is existing. What the additional thing you have done? I need customized correlation rule creation. What you created from your own? Yes, I will agree with you on this one. Customized I mean, whatever default correlation that is there, it is not matching to my business requirement. Whatever logarithm is providing the based on the security based practices as per my customer requirement or based on the my password policies or strong password policies for my business requirement. We define whenever okay, so 10 attempts are happening in the 3 minutes time period, it has to trigger the alert notification. So this is the customization I have done and I created and I tested from the testing machine and finally I completed successfully to update the correlation rule. This is the way customization I have done from my own. That is what I have to give the answer. Okay. So logarithm also it's one of the very dead tool as similar to like IBM QRadar. This one of the correlation rule in this similar way. Let's go and discuss about port scanning attempts from the external IP address. Port scanning. Who will do port scanning? Internal employee will do port scanning. First of all, what is port scanning? To do the okay, so to do port scan to identify what are the ports are open and what are the ports are closed, what are the ports are filtered one in the firewall side. Is there any dangerous ports are open to the internet? For example, maybe port number 80 or port number 3389 or port number 22. Everything can be accessed via through internet or without internet facing. Okay. So here external IP already it is we are creating the correlation rule for external IP. Maybe other than private IP address range, either 10 series or 170.16 series or 192.168 series. Someone is trying to do from the public IP address range based on the classification of the IP address. So maybe they want to do the recon selection of the target as per the MITRE ATT&CK framework or as per the cyber collision process. Recon is a gathering of the tracing of the information or gathering of the selection of the target to hack any targeted mission. That is the first step. So maybe he's identifying now, is there any dangerous ports are open? For that one, we have to create correlation rule. Okay. Now, as I said, this is common, it will not change. Now here, from here, it is same. Primary criteria, data processor logs under the AI engine. So this is the place where the advanced analytics engine backend processing it will happen. Log source type is port scanning. What are the different types of tools will support port scanning? Example, Palo Alto firewall. It is a port scanning capability. Fortinet firewall. Other than these firewalls now, why there are so many firewalls in the organization side? Why organization using Palo Alto, Fortinet, Fortigate, approximate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Out of this one, you can remove this one because it's a storing of the logs. 8 firewalls we are using. Why organization will use 8 firewalls? What is the reason? Anyone can guess it? They are using Palo Alto
Availability.
firewall. They are using other FortiGate firewalls also. So Forti Analyzer is our log analysis tool in the Fortinet side. Now why? Okay, organization is maintaining now. Palo Alto is one firewall, remaining 7 are FortiGate. Why they purchased 8 firewalls? 2 different vendors. Yeah, Nagarjuna, please.
Availability issue.
Sorry.
Availability issues. It's one firewall is down.
Okay, then in that scenario, maybe I can purchase up to 2 or maybe 3. Why we have to purchase 8?
Maybe log sources which we are receiving is huge number.
Yeah, huge number also there. I can purchase high-end model. Instead of the low-end firewall, I can purchase a high-end model. So instead of the purchasing the 8 firewalls.
Maybe one firewall, if it does not work, other can do.
But for that one, I need 3 is sufficient. Why we will use 8? Deployment. Think about design and deployment. You are architect now.
Distributed deployment.
Perfect example. Perfect answer. It's a distributed deployment. Maybe client has more than one location. Maybe client has more than one location. Each and every one location, we can use 2 different types of 2 firewalls for high availability. On the front end, perimeter side, 2 firewalls. Internal also, maybe 1 firewall, 2 firewalls. As per the network architecture diagram. As per network architecture diagram, whatever we discussed, first, before ISP router in the DMZ or DMZ zone, we are deploying the next generation firewall. That is called as internet facing firewall or internet facing firewall, or okay, so that is called perimeter firewall. Maybe we are deploying 2 firewalls there. In the in between access switch and core switch, we are deploying 1 more firewall. Maybe 2 firewalls there. 2 plus 2 equals to 4 firewall in one location. Maybe customer has multiple locations. In Bangalore, we are deploying 4 firewalls. Maybe Chennai, we are deploying 4 firewalls. 4 plus 4 equals to 8. It's a distributed deployment side. Even water you said, maybe Shiva and also Nagarjuna. Okay, so because of the high availability issues, in case high availability is required, all the model numbers are same. But why it is showing different model numbers? That is also one of the logic. In case high availability should work means it's like a twins. Both the firewalls must be same firmware version. Both the firewalls must be same hardware model number. Then only our high availability will work. Otherwise, it will not work. So you can see here, FortiGate firewall 4.0, it's one of the firmware version different. Here 5.0 is different. 5.2 is different. 5.4 is different. 5.6 is different. 6.0 is different. All these are unique firewalls with multiple firmware version. All these are different types of hardware model numbers. Maybe in case, maybe you are using like high availability, all the firmware version of the firewall must be same. Okay, so model, sorry, same firmware version or OS version. According to that one also, we can say it's a distributed deployment, more than one location. So respective customers, they deployed is a perimeter level or internal firewalls. Because we did not discuss about firewall concept, maybe that's the reason you are confusing. That is anyway our next topic, network security. Okay, other than this one, can I give any other log source? Other than firewall, can we give any other log source?
IPS, IDS,
Sorry,
IPS,
not IP. Port scanning. Port scanning. Which tool we will use? And what is the log integration
vulnerable
method?
VM,
Okay, what is the log integration method now?
API token ID.
Only API token method. If I'm using hardware based, if I purchase Nessus or Qualys, maybe hardware module number. What is the log integration method?
Cloud connector.
Syslog. Syslog or API token method. But nowadays, most 99% of the case we are using SaaS based tool, API token and VM tool. That may be our Nessus or Qualys or Tripwire or not Palo Alto firewall, Palo Alto even we have VM tool also and so on. Yeah, even VM also one of the log source. Maybe whatever this correlation tool is created for that particular organization, they are not using VM tool. That is the reason they did not specify the log source name. Okay, now what is the okay? So logic we have to define now here. What is the okay correlation rule? Port scanning attempt from the external IP address. That means what we have to include and what we have to exclude. Please try to map whatever we discussed under the networking concepts.
We have to exclude the
Excluding
internal
of
IP.
internal IPs. Perfect. We have to exclude internal of IPs. What internal private IP address range we are using in our organization side, you can exclude that one. Okay, let's go now. Exclude filter. Include filter is all these log source types because all these tools will do port scanning. Exclude filter IP address range origin is 10.10.10.0 to 10.255.255.255 17.16.17.31.255.255.255 and all these are called as
Internal IP.
Allocated ranges.
private IP address range or internal IPs. Okay. In case maybe insider threat. What is insider threat? What do you mean insider threat?
Internal employee is trying to do the
Any
get
internal employee,
data.
internal employee compromised or anything.
Correct. Then maybe Ravikant is maybe hacker in the internal organization. Can we include internal IPs also? Yes, we can do that one also. Maybe possible. Who knows? ZTNA. What is ZTNA?
Zero trust network.
What is mean by zero trust network access?
Each
No one
device.
trusting no one.
We should not trust anyone in the organization. Yes, we should not trust anyone. No one we should not trust, even though he's a part of our internal organization. In case if I want to do same thing, then I can go and I can include the filter all these also. Okay, we can change one more we can create one more correlation rule for the IP address belongs to internal instead of the external. We can create one more correlation rule also.
Internal thoughts.
Yes, correct. Internal IP scanning. Now, from these list, so firewall integrated devices and also VM devices. All these are log sources now. Unique value. Okay, destination port is greater than 250 only. So is it correct condition or threshold? Can we change this one or can we keep as it is? Condition or threshold? Destination port greater than 250 in the 2 minutes time period. Can we change this one?
We can change to 160.
We can change it to here count.
160.
Only 160. Why only 160?
No. Saying 160.
I can keep 0. Anyone 0 to 65 and 536. When forget about well-known ports are normal ports. 0 to 65 and 536 ports are there. Sir, 535 ports will be there for any operating system. Well-known ports are 0 to 1023. Now I'll keep whatever destination port. So I want to know about the notification side. Even if it's showing as a 1 or 2 or 3, they are trying to do it. I'll keep here 0 as a condition. In time minutes, I'll keep 1 minute. In 1 minute time period, someone is trying to do the port scanning from the external IP, automatically alert will be triggered. Whether he's doing one port scanning or multiple port scanning. What that concept is called as? Which scanning? What is that scanning mechanism called as? Scanning of the
Credential, like
multiple port numbers again a single IP address. Scanning of the multiple port numbers against single IP address is called as
single IP, single scan. What do you call it? Not credential. Single.
scanning of the multiples against single IP address is called as
Vertical scan.
perfect vertical scan. What a horizontal scan? What is a horizontal scan?
Scanning for only particular single port.
Perfect. Yeah, against multiple port types against single port. You are right. So multiple IPs against single port is called as horizontal, and multiple ports against single IP is called vertical scan. So here we are doing vertical scan for dedicate one of the IP address coming from the external attacker IP address. These all topics we discussed already. Just you have to correlate what are we discussed already part of the vulnerability management, and also what are a couple of networking concepts related to public IP versus private IP. Okay, so that is one of the correlation rule. Please go through all these correlation rule, and you can come back by tomorrow or maybe day after tomorrow. And wherever you are getting confusion, please ask me back. This complete implementation level, guys. Each and every interview question, sorry, each and every interview site compulsory interview question. Do you know how to create a correlation rule? It's a compulsory interview question. People are getting a lot of confusion. I'm not sure why people are getting a lot of confusion. Everybody will say at the time of the interview only one correlation rule. Do you know what that one? This one. Every time they will say only this correlation rule because it's the easy one. They will not go to the complicated one. Today also one of the interview question. Do you know how to create correlation for ransomware category of the attack? Please go to the difficult one. Why always you should be okay like whatever other people are saying, you should be different, right? So people I have seen, and MD I am one of the member in the interview panel because in the institutes whatever they are going to teach, they will give only this is the correlation rule. They will not teach other correlation. First of all, they will not teach implementation level at all. Okay, for every interview, they will every user, every candidate will give same answer. Why you will not be different as compared to other people? So that is the reason you can choose different correlation rule. Why we have to choose always brute force attack? Why not DLP? Why not virus? Or why not malware? Why not ransomware and so on? Okay, so that is about correlation rule. They will ask in the whether through water tool you are working on. Forget about what tool oriented. As I said last night also, water tool you are working on is fine. In my resume, I kept only one tool, IBM Curator, but I know all the tools experience. Okay, so that is about overall correlation rule. Please go through this particular documentation related to logarithm side, and if you have any doubts, please let me know. There are overall 32 or 33, I think. Okay, and you can change couple of documentation also. You can download this document and you can make your own decision, and you can explain one of the correlation rule whenever you are going for any interview. Is it clear or not? Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, so let's go and discuss about couple other topics under the logarithm side. Log integration methods, log integration methods already we discussed. I think, yeah, we discussed all, no. Yeah, we discussed already. Syslog, collectorization, WMA method, API token, cloud connector method. Only dashboard I have to show. Let's go and see here. As I said yesterday already, there are different types of dashboards we can see. They have inbuilt case management system, part of the cases. So dashboard, we can create customized or default one. Same concept. And backend query language, I forgot to say. Backend query language used by Logarithm. Any guess? What is the query language it will use? What is the query language it will use?
SQL.
SQL. Right. Common event format name. What is the common event format name?
CEL.
CEF. In IBM QRadar,
Leaf.
Leaf. Yeah, lightweight extended event format. Yes. And already we discussed about, okay, alarms 0 to 10 scale, 0 to 100 for each and every alarm site. 80 to 100 is belongs to critical or priority one. I forgot. Yeah, I given, I think. Yeah. In the last night class, I given already this one. So 0 to 100, not 0 to 100. Yeah. 80 to 100 is belongs to priority one or P1 ticket. And 6 to 80, it's a P2. And 40 to 60, it's a medium. Less than 40 is a P4 and P5, lower informational side. Always we have to pick the based on severity wise. Okay. Already we have shown and we discussed about how to pick the incidents based on severity wise. Couple of times, even though it will come as a same severity, unless otherwise, if you are doing the manual analysis and based on the basic manual analysis, then only you can conclude which severity we have to prioritize. By seeing the just alarm name, we cannot conclude say either true positive or false positive. Okay. Example, we discussed about 3 scenarios or 4 scenarios. One of the server got compromised by malware. One of the end system is got come ransomware. One of the phishing email related to whaling is sent to our CEO. So there are 3 things we discussed. Priority 1, 2, and 3. And I took even brainstorming session with multiple people, Ravikant and Shiva and Nagarjuna and Karthik. You given different priority, and according to that one, we concluded. So something is getting compromised, always you have to give the priority number 1. So based on the business impact analysis and risk assessment. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all. Only front end console, it is different. I can show that one in the tomorrow morning class. In the tomorrow morning class, either I will start Azure Sentinel or I will start HP ArcSight or maybe McAfee. Okay. Any doubts do you have? Do you have any doubts? Okay, shall I ask a couple of questions? Process execution will fall under which category of the attack? Process execution. Process execution will fall under which category of the attack? Process execution will fall under which category of the attack? We discussed 70 attacks. Out of one of the category of the attack is called process execution. What is that one?
Malware category.
Perfect. Malware category. Under malware category, once again.
Log.
Yeah, you are right.
PowerShell execution.
Sorry. PowerShell execution, you are right. Once again, PowerShell execution will fall under which category of the attack?
Logins.
LOL means perfect. LOL means living of the land binaries. Living of the land binaries. Can I share one of the document with you so that you can complete the investigation with me? You can take 1 hour. I will share one of the practical incident investigation document with you. It's a more than L3 level. Can you do investigation and can you share it by within 2 days?
Yes, sir. We will try.
I will upload in the Google Drive document. Sorry, 1 second. I'm sharing my screen once again. So here I will keep test scenarios. Different category of the attacks. Okay, I will upload one of the document here. So
you are not
you
sharing
can.
your screen.
Oh, sorry. So this is our main folder. So under the SIEM tool, I created one of the folder name is called as test scenarios. Okay, so here in this test scenarios, I can upload total 5 scenarios or 6 scenarios or 7 scenarios. Couple of scenarios are belongs to malware category, couple of scenarios are oriented to lolwins category, couple of scenarios are belongs to phishing email and so on. That you have to do. I will not give any hint here. Just I will provide only questions here. You have to analyze all those log analysis. That may be through EDR or that may be through SIM tool, and you can complete the task. If you are doing that one, I'm giving 100% guarantee you will become like an implementation guy. More than L3 level, I can say, fine tuning guy also. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Okay, I will upload those 2 documents. I have 2 different types of sample doc. Today, why I'm saying all this, it's more than L3 level, guys. Today also in the UST Global, basic questions only 3. Recently, what is the instant investigation you have done? Candidate is explained about malware. Perfect, well and good. So second scenario, they explain about lolwins category of the attacks through EDR. That is already we discussed under the Sophos XDR tool side. Okay, how the Frank Castle system is got compromised through process execution category of the attack through phishing email. So third scenario, just they have shared one of the log. In that log, you should read and you should understand and you should analyze what the log is about. It's for L3 level. Do you know how much package they are offering? 32 lakhs package. Only for the very simple interview, 7 years of experience with 32 lakhs package. But unfortunately, you are not able to do the log analysis side.
Yeah, hi sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, what is the difference between for the lolwins and rootkit data? It is also affect on OS side.
Rootkit is a subset of our lolwins. It's a malware category.
Yeah, it will hide the OS.
Yeah, obviously everything is going to impact OS layers. So rootkit is a part of our network layer on transport layer. Through LAN and also through WAN, those attacks will come. All these 7 layers it will follow based on the recon whatever attack is choosing. Recon is choosing as a phishing email, obviously it is layer number 7. Okay, where attack is choosing application drive-by downloads, obviously it's a layer number 7. Attack is phishing email through network layer. So you should understand about, compare about all these attacks via through OS layer.
Yeah, my doubt is lolwins is OS execution or root hiding of the OS attacker.
Okay, but that's correct. Maybe one of the attacker is downloading one of the file from the GitHub. Maybe PowerShell is there part of the GitHub. GitHub is application or website. So obviously in that scenario, execution will happen on the OS side. But where he is downloading?
GitHub.
Website related to GitHub. As per the voice layer approach, GitHub is part of the which layer?
Application layer.
Application layer. Whether to follow all the 7 layer approach or not. Impact will be there on the end user side. But where the origin of the malware? Where the origin of the malware?
Yes.
Application or website. Okay, so this is the way how you can think. First, you should know about basic. What the sources of the malware, how it is coming. Whether it is coming via through, maybe you are right. Take example of the pen drive. That is a hardware device. It's a peripheral control. One of the PowerShell file attack, end user is copied. In that scene, it will not follow all those 7 layers. It will only follow 2 layers. One is called as a physical layer. Second one is called a data link layer. That's it. Are you getting Karthik?
Yes, sir. Sir, also regarding that morning that SSL and TSL that question.
That you can call me separately. Yeah. Is it clear?
Yeah. Okay.
You can
Fine.
apply that one. That's fine.
Thank you,
That
sir.
is belongs to
Yeah, fine.
application security, because it's a public firm. I don't want to disclose your confidential information.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, thank you so much. See you tomorrow at 7:45 a.m. IST. Have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye. Good night.